Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Let's Go Places show here in the beautiful showroom at the wonderful Team Toyota dealership, located right here on Business Route 1, 746 East Lincoln Highway. Good place to visit.
Very
that's for
good
sure.
place.
And we're here, and it's all about, over the last 12 years now, we've been doing this particular show, all about increasing the awareness about our heroes, our military, our police, our fire, medical, and our educators as well. As everyone will attest, and I'm sure everyone will agree, those specific professions, without those participating, we would be in big trouble, because they are our heroes. They keep law and order and restore faith for all of our communities. That as far as education is concerned, our teachers do a tremendous job. Our medical professionals, obviously, when there's the need for any type of abnormalities or emergencies, our hospitals are there to respond and bring us back to homeostasis, as they call it. Today's a great show. I want to thank Paul Mellon for allowing us to do this show now, as I indicated, for almost 12 years. Sponsored by Team Toyota, the Let's Go Places show. It's hard to believe that it's unconscionable for me to realize that I've been doing this for 12 years. But the people that we bring on the show, they deliver certain information to you, our listeners, so that you can be more informed and feel rest assured that it's a beautiful community, a beautiful township, and a beautiful county to live in Bucks County. Once again, I want to thank Paul Mellon for his participation. Today, as always, I have my sidekick here, Charlie Esposito, retired police officer, president of our police, fire, and correctional officers. Joe Szafran, who's the chairman for the Bucks County Tour of Honor. We're going to be talking and bringing information to you about some of the events and how you can help us bring some honor, as they certainly deserve, to our veterans who have served here in this beautiful country, in this land of ours. And we have a special guest today, and I'm certain that Mr. Szafran, when I mentioned to him the guest that I was bringing on, I said to him that you've known this person, I think, in fact, all of your life. And he questioned me, and he said, who would that be? I said, well, I want you to think about it. And he figured it out pretty quick. He should have been a detective himself, because he did a quick job figuring out who that person was that he knew all of his life. And then I gave him the final clue that he's very close to you, Joe. And he said, my son. You're bringing my son on? I said, relax, Joe. Yes, I am. We need to bring some good informative information to our listenership, and he's the man who can do it. Joe Szafran Jr., in business for many, many years, smart, savvy, and he is the executive director for the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce. He's going to talk to us a lot about its formation, the history, why it exists, how it benefits many of our businesses, and how it benefits the communities as well. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Joe Jr. here. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks, Tom. I appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah, it's great. And we're going to talk about your history, a little bit about your background.
Sure.
I could ask your father, but I think
he probably doesn't remember.
He don't remember any of it, do you think? He's sitting there contemplating. Would he remember all these things about you? Maybe he'll be surprised.
Maybe
today.
I could be surprised. Right?
You can come out with some of the professional
things he doesn't even know.
Right,
yeah, right.
These professional skills that he. He's grabbing the mic stick. So no, he's putting it down for now.
It's too early in the morning.
It is too early in the morning for him, isn't it, Charlie?
Give me a little time. It'll be a little more shockers.
A little more, yeah, some shockers. Throughout the show, Bree, our engineer here, I want to thank her for always being here to keep a neutral atmosphere, and she certainly understands the comedy and enjoys the comedy that we provide each and every show. Yeah. We also have some other shows, Behind the Badge, with many of our police chiefs that come in. Fred Herron, who's our co-host, as well as Charlie Esposito. We have Justice for All with Jennifer Shorn, who now is taking leadership and bringing some great guests in to talk about the prosecutorial work that goes on here in the county to keep this county very safe. And those are two shows that we take a lot of pride in, right, Charlie?
Yes, we do. There's a couple we want to try to bring back, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that sometime as well. But we're going to talk about certain topics, Tour of Honor, the FOP Lodge 5, John McNesby, our good friend, that he's been on our show many, many times as a co-host. What's going on there, about the police work and the activities and the charity work that's being done. But now we're going to turn it over and speak to Joe Jr. because he has a lot to tell and share with you, our listeners, our community, so that you'll understand a little bit about the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce. A lot of people don't realize or understand, what is the Chamber of Commerce?
Thanks, Tom. So the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce was founded back in 1958. So it's been here serving Lower Bucks County for well over 60 years now. We have about 1,000 members, which puts us as one of the larger regional chambers of commerce here in the Delaware Valley. But as I like to say, that just really scratches the surface of the businesses and organizations that are here in Lower Bucks County. While we do have a strong membership, it nowhere near reflects the economic vibrancy that we do have here in this area. So, really what the Chamber does is, and I like to think of it, so we're a nonprofit organization. A lot of people don't think a Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit, but we are. And so, everything our members or the community invests in our Chamber, we put back out into the members or the chamber to grow. So basically, what the way I view the chamber, is we're a community organization. Our members consist of businesses, nonprofit organizations, local governments, elected officials, schools, universities. So we have a very, very diverse and varied membership list. And the thing is that we can do that a lot of organizations can't do. A lot of organizations, for instance, the Tour of Honor, right? Nonprofit, great organization, but you're very focused on, the goals of the Tour of Honor.
Specificities, right?
Yeah, a very specific mission of what you want to accomplish. But for me, the chamber, our mission is broad. As far the way I look at it is how do we make our community stronger, Lower Bucks County? How do we, grow it? How do we invest in it? And the chamber is able to collaborate with all of these organizations because they're all members. And so the chamber's mission is to serve our members and grow that. And so for me, it's how do I sort of connect the dots and bridge people together. And one of the things I like to say these days is a stronger community equals a stronger chamber, and a stronger chamber equals a stronger community. So really for me, I think there's so much opportunity for the Lower Bucks County Chamber, and I didn't mention, but I'm new. I started there 2.5 months ago, new to the chamber, that is, lifelong Bucks County resident. So I have some passion that everybody has, and that's the thing too. I've been sort of going on, as they say, a listening tour the last 2.5 months, and talking to members and talking to people that aren't members that could be members, and this is businesses and elected officials and government, you name it. Like I tell people, if you looked at my schedule and the types of folks I was talking to every day, you'd be like, you're talking to everybody. I'm like, I am. That's exactly. That's the whole point. And one of the things that really resonates with me, because I feel the same way, is the passion that people have living and working here in Bucks County and Lower Bucks County specifically. Sure. People love this place. I love this place. And for me, it's how do we have the chamber grow and become a part of that, and bring that passion out and have people, become members, because there's so much we can do, and we can get into some of the more details later. But having a chamber and that is passionate about the community, and having a community that's passionate about the chamber, and I think there's just so much opportunity there. I'm excited to see where it goes.
It's a strong relationship, and you're pointing out the importance for reciprocity. Mm-hmm. The community, they respond to the businesses because obviously there's a need for every product out there, manufacturing, whatever it may be. And on the political end of it, we have a lot of our governmental organizations and agencies that are involved with the chamber as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the the other great thing about you know, Lower Bucks County is the diversity of the business we have. Anyone who lives here or works here knows, you know, this community is made up of small and medium-sized, you know, family-owned businesses. You know, I can't tell you how many businesses that are members that, you know, it's the husband and wife, or
Sure.
you know, it's father and son, or you know, mother and daughter, and you know, and they've, you know, they worked hard creating their business, you know, whether it's a new one or they worked hard for 50 years and they've got 150 employees now, but it's still a family-owned business.
Yes.
So it ranges from that all the way up to the, you know, some of our big corporate partners as well. I mean,
Right.
you know, St. Mary Medical Center and you know, Comcast. These are big corporate partners, and they provide a lot of insight and a lot of resources to the chamber. But you know, we're really made up of the small business owners too. I mean, it's very
Sure.
diverse, and
Sure.
again, reflecting the community that we all live in.
So there's all sizes.
Mm-hmm.
How does this benefit? Let's talk about some of the small
Sure.
proprietorships. How does it benefit a small company that's just getting started?
Mm-hmm.
They're familiar with the community. They've lived in the community for many years. Bring us to their curiosity about the chamber and how you would attract them, or how you would entice them with the benefits
Yeah.
of the chamber and how it can benefit them.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tom. Yeah, I mean, really, you know, it's about, if you're becoming a member of the chamber, it's about value, right? I mean, like anything we do, right? There has to be a return on investment. You know, no one's just going to give money away to any organization, whether it's a nonprofit or a business,
Of course.
or a chamber of commerce. You've got to get something out of it, especially in this day and age when, you know, the economy's a little bit shaky here and there, you know. So yeah, so for a small business owner, you know, the value is, you know, really being able to network. So we have a lot of networking events.
Sure.
So being able to network with other business owners and other organizations within the community that could become customers.
Sure.
Or, you know, we also all know how important relationships are to
Yes.
building a business, or just building a friendship, or all that.
Yeah.
So the more that you know, people can build those relationships within the chamber, then they can, you know, develop and grow their business, because, you know, they're making one contact and then another contact and then this and that. That's one great way. Another great way is we have a lot of educational events as well, where we have special events or monthly breakfast where we bring speakers in to talk, and either they do a keynote speaker, or they will do a you know, a panel discussion, and you know, we educate businesses on different topics, you know, sales, human resources. We have a nice breakfast next month talking about work ethic and how that leads to success in your career.
Of course.
Which again, I think is valuable for anybody. And so they get that out of there too. And then, you know, the last thing that I always like to say is, you know, the chamber can be an advocate for our businesses as well. You know, the more businesses, the more members we have, the stronger voice we have within our local communities, up in Doylestown, out in Harrisburg. You know, if we can, the more members, the stronger our voice become. We can advocate for them. You know, certain legislation or taxes, or, you know, again, working with our local communities, you know, for zoning issues and others. So we can become an advocate for our businesses as well. Which again, if you're a small business, you tend to lose that because you're really small and you don't have the voice to say that. But if we all working together, we have a stronger collective voice, and we can do that. So, you know, those are, you know, some of the key values. Like I said, at the end of the day, you know, it's about the community,
of course,
and we're going to work together to make a stronger community. If you are a member or become a member of the chamber, but I think it's you know, a very essential investment for any of our businesses or organizations, because I mean, you know, even if, like, you know, you look at you know, some of the, you know, what people can invest from a marketing perspective, and, you know, word of mouth and relationships is much more valuable.
Oh my God, yeah,
and
absolutely.
You know, whatever you're going to spend, and I can tell you, whatever you're going to spend on a marketing campaign is going to be less than what your membership dues are at the chamber. So you know, if you really want to, and I hear that from some of our small business owners, they're like, yeah, I did this on social media and I did this and that. She's like, and they would be like, the best thing I did was join the chamber, because then I can talk to people about my business, and, you know, get to know some other people, and bring some customers in, and so yeah, I mean, I would say the best marketing is word of mouth, right?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, there's nothing better, and obviously all small businesses, as they start, they're looking for how they can increase their awareness. And I can't think of a better way than networking through their Chamber of Commerce. This one in particular, the Lower Bucks Chamber. We're going to talk more with Joe Szafran Jr. We're going to talk to Joe Sr. over there. He's deep in thought today. I'm hoping that it's very effective thoughts that he's coming up with.
Yeah, but
Charlie, you would know
fishing
better.
trip he's still going to take.
Is he thinking about the fishing trip?
What one?
Well, that's networking too. He's fishing. A lot of businesses like to fish. Fish at the chamber. And there's another good thought. Maybe we come up with
a
that.
special event.
Yeah, a special event, right? But we're going to take a pause for a moment to recognize our sponsors, such as Paul Muller, who is the sponsor of this show, Let's Go Places. I'm extremely excited about today. You listeners out there, especially if you have a business, listen up, because you're going to hear a lot that will become more effective for you if you're not a member of the chamber. And even if you are a member of the chamber, as Joe will point out, get involved, become proactive, because there's a lot to learn from an educational standpoint, and is much more importantly, increasing awareness. We'll return after a few words from our sponsors.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video streamed live the 4th Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind. That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny-O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
We're back with Let's Go Places here in Lower Bucks County, 746 East Lincoln Highway. Team Toyota. I want to make a quick comment. Many people who are familiar with the Heroes program, which is something that I claim to be very proud of, as Charlie is part of it as well. The Heroes program, it's a group of police, fire, military, medical, and now our educators, along with their family members. When they give me a call, 215-768-6505. That's 215-768-6505. I'll have the answers to your questions about particular vehicles. You can come in and see me directly as the program director here, and I can sit down and care about your needs. A lot of people are talking about the Grand Highlander now, Joe. It's an upsize SUV. Charlie, you've seen it. I think you and Denise were looking at it. For the families who are growing and they need a little bit more room, this is a car that you need to come up and take a look at. There may be a little bit of cannibalism with the models, meaning that the Grand Highlander will be taking chunks out of the SUV, the normal Highlander, which we have in the LE, XLE. Your father, who drives the Highlander XLE.
And you know I'm a Camry person.
And you're a Camry person. We're going to get to that,
right.
too. Yeah, exactly. But the Highlander, this Grand Highlander, you have to come up and see me, Tom Mellon, especially if you're police, fire, military, medical, your family members. There's a reason for it, as Charlie will tell you, as Joe will tell you, and many of our officers and heroes who have experienced this program. It's unique. There's a discount involved, and there's discounting with all of your warranties as well. When you come in and see me personally, we'll talk more about it. But this vehicle, and then I want to get right back to Joe with the Joe Jr. with the Lower Bucks, the benefits of the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce. It's a 362 horsepower hybrid. Now it's great with it's a 4-cylinder, and the benefits is just incredible. Good size, plenty of speed when you need it, acceleration. The safety instrumentation is incredible, and there's a lot more to show you this beautiful modality that the manufacturers came up with, the Grand Highlander. You have something to say, Joe?
Is it gas?
Yeah, well, gas, thanks for asking that question. It's gas and hybrid. So you have 3 versions of the gas and a couple versions of the hybrid, gas hybrid engine, which is a benefit for many people who are, if you're putting a lot of miles on the car, then there's, although it's a little bit more costly, it'll pay itself off because you'll be saving in fuel.
Gas price is kind of high.
Oh my God, it's up to over $3.80 a gallon again.
I know. If I look at the gas station across the street, it might go up by the time I get outside.
It might. Yeah, with this administration we have going on out there, you don't know what's going on.
Joe bet us it'd be 4 by August.
Is that nice?
He has a few days to go.
Well, we're hoping in this respect that Joe's wrong, obviously.
Yeah, well.
It's good to be wrong there, Joe.
$4 Labor Day.
$4 by Labor Day. You've heard it from the master. Let's get back to Joe Jr. What's that?
Talking to my friend Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, your friend Joe. All of our friend. Everyone who loves Joe. At any rate, let's get back to the chamber, especially our small businesses, as they begin their journey to benefit, all of the community residents with a particular product. How do they increase the awareness, and how do they get their name and their reputation out there? And one of these events could be the Small Business Exchange, because there's a lot of people that businesses could meet and do some networking.
Yeah,
I'll let you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think for us, there's we have a young professionals committee, sort of emerging leaders, and that's made up of individuals under 45. So
boy, everybody
here
out of that.
At this table wouldn't qualify, but really the young professionals, they are really the lifeblood of any organization, right? I mean, they're usually engaged and they're passionate and they're trying to grow their business, and as a lot of them are trying to grow their families as well. Yeah. So
willing to learn.
Yeah, our young professionals committee, we have we have a committee, and then they usually have events for the younger leaders in the organization. And really, they're a lot of them, they are really starting to grow their businesses. They're working in insurance or real estate, and it's like a husband and wife team, or they're really, or maybe they're working at a bank and they're really starting to want to become a branch manager, and
sure.
And you see a lot of that commitment to their careers and the community. That's what's so important, and so for the chamber, that's a great thing that we do is we offer the opportunity for our young professionals to have their own committee, and they have their own after-hours networking events, and they have other events throughout the year. Last year they had a pickleball tournament,
okay,
and really to engage them and become part of that. I mean, and excuse me, at the chamber, you really need that, because they're the future leaders of the chamber as well, and they're going to be future leaders in our community. They're going to become on the board of directors of our nonprofits, or maybe serve in a local elected official or something like. So really,
yeah.
For us, it's really important to have them as part of the chamber, and again, we have a very robust program there. So
yes. How long has this been going on, Joe?
Young professionals for several years now,
okay.
A long time. I mean. So I would encourage anybody, who fits that category to come on out and see what the chamber is about. Again, and there's the possibility to relate to other people that are going through the same things as
sure.
you, whether it's
sure.
your career or your personal life or both. And I think that's always good when you can find commonality. So that's one thing. And then you mentioned our business card exchange, which we'll be starting to call business card exchange. To me, sounds sort of antiquated.
Yeah, that's
so we're going to be changing
the old fart.
we're going to be changing that name soon to sort of something about after-hours networking. Because it's really what it is.
That's what it is.
It's not about, here's my business card, here's my business card. It's really about forming relationships and forming friendships between people that are working here and living here in Bucks County.
Right.
Really, it's just an opportunity. That's really what the Chamber does in these after-hours networking events do. It just provides you an opportunity to meet with people that have things in common with you. Everybody who is coming to the events, either lives or works in Bucks County or the immediate surrounding areas. So you have that in common at least. And then obviously if you're coming to a chamber, you're also committed about, community and growing your career and growing your business. And so
there's our big shot right now. That's our owner right there, Paul Mellon. How you doing, boss?
And so it's so again it's important for them to come out and you just meet some people, and typically some of the business card after hours networking events we'll have 75 maybe 90 people, and again we go to locations all throughout Bucks County. We were at the Newtown Athletic Club a few weeks ago. We were at a workspace in Trevose last week.
Another big company there, the Newtown Athletic Club.
Yeah. So and then like we mentioned, the young professionals, they usually have a happy hour, and we try to partner with some of our local breweries and restaurants to go there. Again, word of mouth marketing is how do we promote our members, and how do we help them grow their businesses through utilizing what we're trying to do from an events perspective. Because the chamber, we have 4 or 5 events every month, and so we're constantly going through events. So I mean, like next week, for instance, we have a State of the State event with some of our local elected officials. We have Senator Frank Farry will be there, as well as Representatives Tomlinson, Joe Hogan, and Krista Marcel up in Northampton. And we have an event in Ben Salem, and it's next Thursday. And again, they'll be there speaking.
Talk about that, and is there a phone number that people could call to get more information on that?
Yeah, they can go to our website, lbccc.org.
Jot that down. Get a paper and pencil, and start jotting some of this information down for your benefit.
Yeah, so we have an event like that. Again, that's sort of an education, so they'll be talking about economic development and job creation, and then there'll be a Q&A, and you'll get a chance to meet them, which is great. And again, all of and I can say, I know they're the only ones that are going to be there, but all of the elected officials in Lower Bucks County are very supportive of the Chamber of Commerce. I've had the chance to meet with most of them by this point, and they're all very supportive of what I'm trying to do, and they're all very supportive of the community. So I'm grateful and thankful for that.
With the small business that I had for many, many years, I was a member of the chamber, and as I indicated to you when we first met, well, not first met, but when we spoke just recently, that I was part of the leadership program. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. For you listeners, I'm sure you will agree that I have recognized in Joe, as the Executive Director for the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce, the need for change, because some of these implementations were not available back, I'm going to say maybe 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. We had the Sharpen Your Edge Committee, the Small Business Resources Committee, many different, and they were very effective. But what I find and what I perceive here now by listening to Joe Jr. Joe Szafran Jr., who's the Executive Director of the Chamber in Lower Bucks here, the effectiveness for change, and he's got, my father always said this, 2 ears and 1 mouth. He listens. Obviously, with the 2 ears, twice as much. And what comes out of the mouth is effectiveness for the chamber and the benefits for many of the businesses there. So I'm anxious to learn more and more about how you, with small businesses that are out there, you have, 1,000, 1,200?
1,000 members.
About 1,000 members?
Yeah.
There's probably 5,000 members out there that could, or maybe more.
Easy.
In the community, who have just not had the opportunity to listen to what are the benefits of joining the Chamber of Commerce.
Or even the awareness.
Or the awareness, increasing the awareness.
People may not even know it exists, let alone what the value brings that it even exists.
That's the truth. You drive by Hood Boulevard, and often it's quiet because obviously there's activities that go on, and the formation, when it occurs, there's a lot of electricity. I can tell you because I chaired the Sharpen Your Edge. I chaired that committee, and I enjoyed it. It gave me an opportunity to proclamate my business at the time, which was the casino marketing business, and a lot of people came up with good questions that I wasn't even expecting, but it helped me with my business and it helped them. We'll return with Joe, and I'm going to let him do all the talk. I'm doing too much talking here.
No, you're the host. You're supposed to talk.
I hope. Am I? Good. Thanks for telling me that. But at any rate,
Now you did it.
yeah, no. We're going to get back to Joe. He's going to come out with more than a spoonful. There's going to be buckets of more information on the effectiveness of why you should be joining the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce, especially if you want benefits and the fruitfulness of what it can provide for you. We'll return after a few words from our sponsors.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you because your opinion does matter.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday.
Welcome back to Let's Go Places here at 746 East Lincoln Highway, the beautiful Team Toyota new car showroom. And I'm honored. We always talk about the sponsor and the thankfulness we have for his appreciation to increase awareness more about the benefits of our police, fire, our medical, and our military, and our educators as well. We have the honor of having Paul Muller here because he's Mr. Ubiquitous. That's right. Look that up in your dictionary. He's all over the place. He's everywhere. But he's right here with us right now, presently, so you can enjoy a few words of wisdom. Paul is now on the board of directors with our Tour of Honor. Paul, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Tom. I appreciate it. Ubiquitous.
Yes, you like that word?
I don't know whether to thank you or punch you in the nose. I'm not exactly sure what...
Everyone's going to look that word up now.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. He came up with what is that?
Yeah.
But, yeah, great program that we have here. I was talking just recently before the break about the Heroes program that we've been doing that you embraced many, many years ago. We've been doing this show for 12 years.
Oh, my gosh.
We began it, the first show we did was right down the street with one of our businesses, the Irish Rover.
Right.
And that was a great show.
I do remember that.
Of course you do.
As you get older, things, they go by so quickly. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but
it's hard to believe.
But I guess it was.
Yeah.
And you guys have done such a wonderful job. I mean, you do great work with everybody, but it's just sometimes I feel like it's underappreciated. I know the people that you're serving are certainly oftentimes underappreciated, but I think just the things that you do for whether it's the military or the police and the fire, the first responders.
Yeah.
To put a light on what they do and the importance that they have in our community. I think unfortunately sometimes it's those people are not so much appreciated until you need them.
That's true.
They're sort of in the background, and all of a sudden you need them, and then it's it's very, very important that they're there. So the training that they have and the efforts that they go through to maintain the high level of pardon me, the high level of confidence and abilities that they have takes a lot of work, and I think that to recognize them while they're still active is important. But I think also, especially with the military and the people that are retired or injured, or to recognize and shine a light on those people is just as, or maybe even more important.
Yes,
because they tend to be forgotten, and
so much. Yeah, that's
and they
true.
shouldn't be.
Yeah. Paul, who has had this business for how many years now, Paul? Or approximately
40
years in the car industry. I will tell you, and I brag about this, when this dilemma occurred with the pandemic, and a lot of dealerships that are out there, they're charging a market adjustment. Paul has never wavered with his dealerships here. They're all MSRP. He provides a discount for our military, our police, and our fire. And it's a humble approach that Paul takes. But it's not only charitable, but it's certainly something that's well appreciated with what he has done over the years, and engaging with so many different opportunities to help in the community. President of the Dealers Association, Tri-State Dealers Association. So he has his finger on the pulse of everything that's going on in the business community, governmental, charitable. He's there. That's why I call him Mr. Ubiquitous. But I do want to mention also hiring our heroes, which you're very much involved with.
Oh yeah, that's Toyota's one of their big events and big supports, and it's basically to take care of the people that come back from overseas or just out of the military, to help them adjust to get back to civilian life, because they have many of them have some great skills. They're people that in many can take orders, can give orders. They're hard workers. But sometimes they just need a little bit of help coming back into the economy.
Yes.
In order to use some of those skills that sometimes translate very, very well. They're mechanics. They're this. They're that. There's not a lot of use for snipers these days, but. It's to be able to help them to fill out resumes. We have a thing called resumeengine.org that they can go on, and it tells them how to do an interview, how to fill out a resume, how to dress for an interview, and it's also it's accessible to employers to look on there and see that these the people that are coming out that are looking for jobs, and these A, they deserve your support, but B, these are people that have skills. And are ready to put them to good use in civilian life, and it's a shame that we don't take more of an advantage of that.
Yes.
As an employer, we have a number of folks that we have hired that are out of the military. We have 2 or 3 people in the 3 Toyota stores that are in the reserve, so we sort of help them out because they have to go to, when they get called up, they get paid, but quite frankly, they don't get paid what they would make if they were working at their normal job.
Yes.
So we make up the difference, because I just, for their families to suffer because they're off serving their country isn't something that I think should be ignored. So we try to do what we can, and it comes back to you. Many fold. There's an old line that somebody told me that I really do believe in, that and you're not doing good, you're not doing well enough.
Wow, what an impact of a statement there.
So we try to, well, believe me, I didn't come up with it. I heard it, but I steal it a lot.
See, I tell you, he's very humble.
Oh yeah, I'm humble. Just ask my wife. But it's true. I mean, it's you try to give back, and there's people that are less fortunate in many different ways, and you try to do what you can to help everybody a little bit.
Yeah, and the quality, the characteristics of our military, as you pointed out, Paul, for the benefit of these big companies, it helps them as well. The characteristics of these soldiers that come back, and
it's a different, as you well know. I mean, I am a veteran. I was in Vietnam. And I was fortunate because when I came back in 1969, I had a girlfriend who's now my wife of 53 years.
That's right.
Loving parents, went back to school, And as they say, so far so good.
Yeah.
But not everybody has that opportunity, whether it's no family or just circumstances often beyond their control.
Yes.
That create a situation where they come back to a place that's not all that welcoming. I remember when I came back. I mean, you were
chaos.
Oh, yeah, they were.
It's true.
They were spitting on you. I mean, it was. And again, I was sort of young and stupid, so you sort of just sloughed it off
or you knuckle them up.
Yeah, and went on. But these are people that have wives and kids.
Yeah.
I was 19 years old. These are people that have wives and kids and careers, and then they're off for a year or 2 years. And when we went for a year, and you're back, and you were sort of done. These guys go for 8 months, 9 months. They're back. They go for another 8 or they're back. I mean, they're like yo-yos.
Yeah, deployment.
So you're trying to keep your life balance intact, along with a wife and kids and a job and it's tough. And it's not only is it physically tough, but mentally it wears on you. So we just try to do what we can. And Toyota's, like I said, huge supporters with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce on this Hiring Our Heroes. And
there you go, Joe.
I'm thrilled to be a part of it, because it does make a difference. And if you've never been through it, maybe you can't appreciate it. But talk to somebody that has benefited from it, and you'll feel a lot differently about it.
I know it brings a lot to your heart, with what you're doing, as
it does.
you pointed out.
It does.
As you pointed out. And it helps the community. Phil Abundance another way. I mean, just moving aside, there's other chapters that you're involved with that help a lot of people that are, down in their luck.
Yeah, we're, like I said, I'm blessed.
Yes.
I always tell people, when I was 18, if I had to ask for everything I wanted in my life, I wouldn't ask for 5% of what I have. So I don't complain about anything.
Yeah, there you go.
I got 4 great kids and grandkids and daughter-in-laws, and everybody's not that lucky. So in order to, to be able to help somebody else is, I think, is important.
Yes.
And I think when you do that, and we've tried to raise our sons that way, and that seems to have worked out. My wife always tells everybody that I'm, to be kind and be generous and be humble, and she says I'm 2 out of 3. So it's hopefully it's a good 2 out of 3.
No, it definitely is. There's a quality that you have aside from your professionalism and the altruistic efforts that you provide to the community. You have a little bit of Don Rickles in you as well. A lot of people don't know the comedy that you bring and the laughter that you bring. And it just comes shooting from the hip. I don't know where it comes from.
I'd like to tell you where it comes from, but I think we're on the radio, so I'm not sure.
But it's comical.
Yeah.
It's comical.
Yeah.
I have the benefits the last 15 years of hearing many of the little.
Oh yeah.
Well,
my father used to say,
So it's your dad maybe to start
my father was actually a very, very, very
funny guy.
Sort of a funny guy.
All right.
But my father used to say, and I can't use the word, if bull crap were poetry, I'd be Robert Frost. So it's.
You'll be stealing that, Charlie. You'll be stealing it now.
Well, that's my motto. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
I hope everybody knows who Robert Frost was.
Well,
if they're looking up altruistic, they can look up
Robert
Frost.
They can look that up, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're listening to Paul Muller, who's the sponsor of the show, the owner of Team Toyota. He has 3 dealerships, one in Princeton, one here in Langhorne, and one in Glen Mills. So visit our dealerships. It's a great experience. It's where there's no I in team. It's family here. Paul, why are you laughing at, Paul? You really
always tell people there's no I in team,
right?
But there is a me.
And me.
There's where the comedy comes out. It's just shooting from the hip. But it's a great show that we're doing. I know that Bree's going to get angry with me if we don't take a quick station break to recognize our sponsor, Paul Muller, for example, this wonderful show that we do, increasing the awareness so that you as our listeners learn a little bit more about the businesses, as Joe Jr. here is going to be explaining a little bit more in depth the benefits of living in this great community here in Lower Bucks County and all of Bucks County. I'm Tom Mellon. We'll return after a few words. I want to thank Paul for stopping in with his words of wit so you can understand a little bit more about how business works and how it evolves and how it helps the community. We'll return after a few words.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform mix of the hits and beyond. It's a happening, a musical journey. It's the Glenn Jones Radio Experience, right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, Thursday and Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., directly following the legendary Jerry Blavitt. Radio, the way it ought to be.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Thank you.
We're back with Let's Go Places here in the beautiful showroom of Team Toyota, 746 East Lincoln Highway. You had some great entertainment the last few minutes with Paul Muller, the owner of Team Toyota, who provided some words of wit, explained a lot of the work in how do I say it? It's not just Team Toyota, but Paul is the president of the Toyota dealerships that represent the whole CAT region, the Central Atlantic region, the Tri-State Toyota Dealers Association. But Joe, as you could attest, he indicated that he's part of the United States Chamber of Commerce. Explain that a little bit about the United States Chamber. You're probably a member of it, I'm sure.
We are, yeah. I mean, so there's a U.S. Chamber of Commerce. There's also a Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce. But each sort of has their own areas that they play. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is much more involved in advocacy.
Yes.
And supporting certain legislation and federal. They're much more concerned with that bigger growth, economic development throughout the country, as opposed to a particular region. But yeah, we are a member of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and we're also a member of the Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce. And again, the Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce much more interested in what's going on in Harrisburg, and obviously they also all provide support to the local chambers of commerce from where they stand on certain legislations and certain bills, and providing some support on some education and things for our members. But the goal of the regional chambers of commerce, these local chambers of commerce, are much more community focused and on economic development within our local communities, as opposed to the broader pictures within the country or the state.
So, with the United States, it's a more of a macro indication as to what they do on a large scale. Then you have your state, and then you have your local. Local's very important. Let's face it. That's where you're not going to get much from the United States Chamber of Commerce or the state. That's not in a derogatory way for me to make that statement, but that's the reason why we have our local chambers, because that's where the meat and potatoes occur for profits in many ways, not just profits in dollars and cents, but profitable for you to grow a business. And that's why Joe's here today. You must be impressed, Joe. There's a lot of things you don't know about your son and what he's been doing in the community.
Very little.
Oh, that's just not right. Well, this is the reason why we need to bring
Very little you know, or very
little that you know, yes. No. He was about to say that, Joe.
Of course he was.
Because he talks to me about it all the time.
There you go. Boy, his nose is starting to get bigger and bigger like Pinocchio,
we talk all the time.
That's good.
No, we do.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. I know you're very close with your children, no question about it.
Brings up stuff.
Yeah, but it's impressive. It's impressive. I haven't had the benefit. We're going to be bringing them on more often so that the listeners can benefit from it. It's only within your 4 walls at home. We need a lot of the community to understand more as to what Joe's doing. with the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce. And you've only been with them for how long?
Well, I mean, I've been it's 2.5 months now with the chamber, but as I mentioned before, I mean, a lifelong Bucks County resident. I spent the early part of my career working in government and politics here in Bucks County,
sure.
And I have a lifelong affinity to Bucks County and Bensalem because it's where I grew up. From really my dad. My dad's been
rubbed off.
Yeah, my dad's been committed to the community for as long as I've known him. Serving on council, recorder of deeds, working the tour of honor. I mean, he's always been passionate about Bucks County, and that really has rubbed off on me. And so, I'm passionate about this county, and I think it's the best place in the country to live. I mean, I'm probably a little biased, but that's okay. I know there's a lot of other people that are around me that are also biased about this is the best place in the country to live.
It's a great place to live.
We might all be a little biased, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good. We need to spread it more,
right?
So everyone can be biased.
Right, exactly. So spending the early part of my career having it be an important part of what I learned from a value perspective, and then I spent almost 20 years working in communications and public relations in the corporate world around the Delaware Valley,
sure.
as I like to say.
Sure.
And I had the opportunity to do a lot of work with a lot of great communities, community outreach, and Pottstown or Camden, places that are incredible places, but weren't home.
Yes. Okay.
And having the opportunity to come back to the Chamber of Commerce and work in my community that I'm so passionate about is a great opportunity, and I really want to share that with the rest of the community and say, hey, how can we grow? How can we get stronger? How can we do more? And how can I help? How can really? And that's what it is. Like you mentioned, how can I help as a chamber?
Yeah.
I'm in a role where I can help businesses. I can help nonprofits. I can help our local communities and make us all stronger. And so really, that's really what I'm trying to do. Is like how do we work together to help? And sometimes it's a networking event, and sometimes it's a special event that we have, and sometimes it might be things I put together. And my brain constantly rolls with ideas and things I want to implement at the chamber that are new. How do we help our veterans? What role can the chamber play with that?
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, with the military.
Yeah, no,
right.
I mean definitely
someone coming home.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think that's a place that we haven't explored enough. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, what can we do? I know we can do something.
Yeah.
And especially here in Lower Bucks, we have so many veterans that are either starting their own businesses or working in businesses. So how do we support them? We have, you mentioned committees, like we have a women in business committee, which is fantastic. They do a great job.
Priority that you're
a priority
that you're working
getting ready to work on.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to let it out of the bag?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, trying to right now, being new, trying to not. My biggest thing I try to tell myself every day is you can't boil the ocean, right? You can't do everything at once.
It's working hard to climb it right now to boil it.
Yeah. But you have to, you have to take your steps, and you got to do it the right way. And so, yeah, for me, I think, really trying to look at from an events perspective, like what can we do more? I really, one of the things and again, it's so funny because like events for me are pretty much planned out for the rest of the year because you got to do it like months and months in advance.
Right.
So this is 2024, but doing more, I'll call them seminars or roundtables that are industry oriented. So people within a certain industry can collaborate and talk with other people in that industry that are members, and they can combine. We get a speaker who's talking about a hot topic in maybe the insurance industry or finance or car dealerships. I don't know, and then they can all talk together, and it's a little low key and a little bit of networking, a little bit of education, but it's very industry specific. Again, trying to add value to members, and also trying to have. Trying to set up, some bigger events that are around sort of thought leadership, where we're having conversations about key important topics with our key leaders, our C-suite executives that are members, and they're really talking about how do we fix healthcare, or what does the infrastructure look like here in Bucks County? Like really things that are of really important high level value, and driving those conversations within Bucks County. And how does the chamber do that? Again, supporting and those events. So and also trying to look at our small business owners, but also our big corporate partners too, because everybody's a member, and every member at my chamber I consider unique and individual, and so we have to make sure that we're providing value specifically to each member, because everyone's going to be different.
Of course.
And I tell all my members and new members, my door is always open. If a member ever wants to sit down and talk to me about the value they're getting out of the chamber, or the value they're not getting out of the chamber, that's my job. I mean, that is to work with all of our members to see that they're getting something out of it. Because again, as I said in the beginning, if they're making an investment, they've got to get a return on that, and that's important to me.
Yeah, Joe Senior, grab the stick for a minute. I mean, as I listen, now you're on top of everything that your son is doing. Obviously, with the discussions you have with him regularly, that I don't know about. I mean, I feel left out, Charlie. But at any rate, there could be things measurable things that we could provide for the chamber with our Tour of Honor.
Well, actually, we have talked about that, about how we can possibly work the Tour of Honor into the Chamber of Commerce.
I'm all ears. I want to hear about this.
Especially
this is
with we tried years ago with the Central Bucks and Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
Things just didn't get off the ground. It's a lot of work and everything like that. But I think we got a good connection this time.
We have a center of influence here, right here.
So
yeah, he knows how to reach me.
And you pick up the phone.
Yeah. Well, I gotta have someone watch the grandkids, so of course I'm going to pick up the phone.
You got it. Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's more like get it done.
Get it done. Exactly.
But we have actually. That's true. We have really spoke about it, about how we can possibly work the chamber in with the Tour of Honor. I think it'll benefit the tour.
Absolutely.
Getting local businesses involved, and then I also think it'll benefit the chamber of getting the chamber and the businesses involved with the veterans that are in our organization, where we can help them and they can help us.
Yeah, that plays into a powerful impact, I think, with the contact of these in the community of all these businesses that we could provide.
And then I figure I was hoping too, maybe in time, if he gets his feet wet, that
I think his feet are drowning. He's in there.
No, I know.
What do you think, Joe?
Even help us with the Central and Upper Bucks, because we are not just Lower Bucks.
We're the whole county.
We're the whole Bucks County, and I know he represents Lower Bucks County. But work with us to see if we can get the Central Bucks and Upper Bucks chambers involved in the Tour of Honor too, and even we're outside the Bucks County area, because we are expanding too.
We are.
So it's like
that's what's exciting about the Tour of Honor.
I don't know whether they can help the Lower Bucks Chamber.
I know a few people.
I think you do.
I know he knows a few people.
Yes.
He's been in this public relations industry for a long time.
Many years.
He knows a lot of people. Probably more than I do.
Wow. That's the first time that I ever heard him say something like that. But that's amazing.
Sometimes, you got to pass the baton.
That's true.
You gotta pass
That's true.
It.
The apple didn't fall too far from the tree, as they say, right?
No,
but it's good.
I don't think it has, and I'm proud to say it.
No, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. So there's some, the center of influence I talk about, but there's a good impact, an incredible impact that we're not even aware of yet. We begin with the end in mind, as Joe, your father, pointed out, to really reach out even further. But let's begin with right here, where we have an opportunity to reach many businesses. You're listening to Tom Mellon, the host of your show here that we've been doing now for 12 years. Let's Go Places. Charlie Esposito, who's been with me
5, 6 years.
Has it been that way?
Yeah.
That was a test. I wanted to make sure. Bree, write that down. I think you got it right. Joe's been with me for many years now. We have Joe Jr., who will be joining us on a regular business. Should I call you Joe? Is Joe Jr. an honorable thing to call you?
It's fine. I'm used to it. It's 47 years. I'm used to it at this point.
Joe Jr., right?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Even though I am technically a third, but that's okay.
Oh, Joe the third?
Yeah. But
that's even
Junior.
Yeah, he's
Dad was
It sounds a little bit like a gangster. Hey, Joe the third, come on over here. You know?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But we'll return after a few words from our sponsors. I wanted to once again thank Paul Muller for being here today and to give us a lot of words of input. It's towards the end. Oh, it is? So we are at the end.
Yes.
See how fast these shows go by, Joe? It's incredible, isn't it?
Better say goodnight.
Yeah, I think we have. Good night, Gracie, as George Burns would always say.
You're saying words a lot of people aren't going to know.
They won't. No,
they're just not going to get
antiquated.
that. They're antiquated and
ubiquitous
and
yeah, I'm studying too many SAT words here. It's
People
not
at their
good.
dictionaries right now.
They're at it. Well, they can just Google it now.
Was he on the Lone Ranger?
Yeah. But Bree's telling me, cut it. But thanks for listening to us. We're going to be bringing you back again if that's okay.
I would love to. Yeah,
he doesn't give up.
And there's a lot more. We're always going to be doing new things. So I'll be more than happy to come back.
Thanks for joining. Let's go places. It was a great show today. And Jerry, I'm coming home to walk the dog. I don't know when, but it will happen soon. Be safe. Stay well. Don't text while you drive. Thanks for all my guests being here, and most importantly, as everyone will agree, God bless America.